Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rox, I'm a Western Tropical Astrologer, and today we're going to be talking about the full moon in Sagittarius. This one, folks, is coming up on the 23rd of May at 1:52 p.m. GMT time, so you can adjust the time for your own time zone. Now, this full moon is happening at 2 degrees 54 minutes of Sagittarius. Therefore, if you have in your natal chart planets or angles or important points around 2 to 3 degrees of mutable signs. The mutable signs are Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces, and Virgo. You folks are going to feel this lunation the most. Now, if you have in your natal chart planets or angles around the following, around 2 to 3 degrees of the following signs, you're really gonna like this full moon. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to the people who have planets in Aquarius, Leo, Aries, and Libra. I repeat, around 2 to 3 degrees. It also counts if you have, for example, your ascendant around 2 to 3 degrees of Libra or Leo. So planets and important points in the natal chart. I'm very excited about this full moon, and I will share why. I mean, I don't want it to sound like I'm exaggerating. I don't want it to sound like this is going to be the full moon that's going to solve all of our problems and ta-da, the world is a much better place overnight. But, this is, I kid you not, a very, very lucky lunation. Literally, really lucky, auspicious, beneficial, call it what you want. Why do I say this? Because Jupiter, which is the ruler of the full moon, Jupiter is going to be in Taurus at the time of the full moon, conjunct Venus, the other benefic, in domicile in Taurus. So we have a lunation influenced very, 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 very strongly, folks, by both benefic planets in astrology. So you could say that it doesn't really get better than this. Which is why I'm really looking forward to this full moon. I am calling it lucky. I do believe there's going to be some really good news coming up at a collective level when it comes to communities, when it comes to masses of people. The full moon is also going to be in a harmonious aspect to Pluto. Oh, something's happened to my phone. The full moon is going to be in a harmonious aspect to Pluto in Aquarius, so we can expect news that is both auspicious as well as transformative for groups of people, for communities of people. We can also expect really impactful news that seem to generate increased stability and security. So we're going to hear really impactful news at an international level. Why? Because Sagittarius, from an archetypal perspective, is very much interested in things that are happening at a global, international level. Sagittarius is the sign that governs over travel, over international matters. So I feel like this is not just going to be something that we benefit from individually, although that is probably going to be the case as well. I believe that this full moon is going to bring us news that will be a good enough reason to celebrate the fact that something is going through a reset, something is transforming at an international level. Why do I say increased stability is coming out of this lunation? Because Jupiter, the ruler of the full moon, and Venus, which is going to be in conjunction with Jupiter, they're both in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is fixed earth, so it doesn't get more stable and steady than that. I feel like money's gonna solve a lot of problems here somehow. That's what I'm foreseeing. I'd say we could also expect some sort of like positive news coming from researchers, so maybe coming from the academic space. Maybe really good news, really positive news impacting the physical body. So maybe something that has to do with health, wellness, well-being, medicine in general. Good news also connected with traveling in some shape or form, with education, with the academic environment. As I've said, I see this as a breakthrough type of lunation. Something also seems to be happening on an international level that is probably impacting in a beneficial way the economy. That's another very, very likely, very possible theme popping up this time around, folks. It is a great time to be generous, and we are probably going to be feeling collectively very generous at this time. Very kind, very generous, very jovial, very much in the mood for celebration, as I said, because there is this feeling of a reset. There is this feeling of a regeneration. It's also a time when we might feel very much in the mood to take risks, to take chances, and to take advantage of opportunities. And I can only say it might actually be a fabulous time, an absolutely fabulous time to take advantage of an opportunity. It may turn out really, 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 really well from a material perspective. Relationships are also benefiting from this lunation. I feel like there is an increased level of understanding in relationships. I'm also thinking about diplomacy in general, about diplomatic relationships. So I'm thinking about like countries having like really good, like talks and agreeing on something that is going to generate increased financial and material stability. Oh, I apologize about that. Have fun, be kind, share if you have more than you need. And I as I said, I do believe we are probably going to be in a very kind of like sharing oriented mood. And if you feel like it's time to expand, if you feel like it's time to take a chance, take a chance, because opportunities like the one that I see coming up at the time of this full moon probably don't necessarily come very, very often. Now, of course, we're going to go into the updates for each of the 12 zodiac signs. Absolutely. Before we do that, please remember that this is a general forecast. It's not a personal reading. I know that's it's pretty obvious, but sometimes people seem to forget that, and they're like, oh no, this doesn't resonate. Remember that if you want to get a granular, in-depth, as accurate as possible reading, that is where you need to work with an astrologer or learn astrology yourself. Speaking of working with an astrologer, for those of you who are maybe new here to my channel, I am a full-time consulting astrologer. I work with clients one-to-one on a day-to-day basis. And if you want to book a consultation, if you want to book a personal reading with me, you can find me on my website, which is writteninthestars-astrology.com. That is writteninthestars-astrology.com. You can go straight to the services section. And if you're a new client, you can go straight for the 1 hour, 15 minutes Zoom consultation for new clients. In my practice, I focus on forecasting, obviously. I love forecasting because I do believe there is a lot of value in understanding the timeline of our lives, in understanding how we can best align ourselves with the cosmic tides. My practice is also very much focused on natal chart analysis, because everything starts with the natal chart. The natal chart is the root prediction. So by understanding the natal chart, we understand our soul's intentions, the themes, the topics, the lessons that we are likely to deal with in this lifetime, and we can make the most of the cards that we have been dealt. I also see the natal chart as a tool that helps us act more strategically, let's say. For example, let's say you want to make more money and you're thinking, how do I do that? Like, how do I increase my income? There are ways in which the natal chart can indicate that to us. And this is just an example. I'm also very focused in my practice on compatibility between two people, and that doesn't necessarily have to be romantic compatibility, although that is probably one of the most requested services on my end. It can also be compatibility between business partners, for example, or really just kind of like understanding the dynamic between you and an important person in your life. It could be a parent, it could be, I don't know, a child, it could be a friend. So if that is something of interest, we can also, of course, focus on that. And last but not least, I am a big fan of locational astrology or relocation astrology, and I use techniques such as astrocartography and the relocated chart. So if you're thinking of moving across the world, or if you're just kind of like thinking of planning a cool holiday, a nice holiday, then that is a branch of astrology that might be of interest to you. So remember, if you're a new client, 1 hour, 15-minute Zoom consultation, and of course, it's impossible to cover everything in everything that I've just mentioned in just one session. And once you become an existing client, you have 2 additional options to choose from my website. The 30 minutes follow-up consultation, and also the 1 hour year ahead forecast. This is actually a service that a lot of my clients purchase recurringly around their birthdays. It's not mandatory for you to purchase this around your birthday. You could purchase it at any point in the year, but it is quite popular. I have heard my clients many times say that this is their gift to themselves every year around their birthday. So once again, written in the stars-astrology.com, straight to the services section. That is where you can purchase my services. Now, going back to the full moon in Sagittarius, please listen to the update for your rising sign if you know your rising sign. If you don't know it, then you can, of course, listen to the update for your sun sign. But rising sign above everything else, because that is the closest thing that you can get when it comes to general forecasts such as this. That is the closest thing that you can get to a personal reading, folks. And obviously, we are going to start with the one and only, Aries. Aries suns, and especially Aries risings. Now, my lovely Aries, 23rd of May, active 3 days before, 3 days after. This full moon is activating your 3rd house, 9th house axis, the axis of studies and traveling. Have a think about what was going on in your life. Last year in December 2023, around the middle of December, around the 12th of December, give or take, maybe a few days before, a few days after, because this full moon might bring things to a culminating point, might bring things to fruition. When it comes to the areas that were on your radar last year in December, especially when it came to matters connected with traveling, studies, legal matters, your academic path. Also, if you were involved in any sort of activities that involved publishing or marketing, or just kind of like spreading the word, spreading a story, running an advertising campaign, for example, this full moon may bring a lot of kind of concrete results in this direction. So, what can you expect? Aries, I do believe you can expect really good news coming from a court of law around this time, around the time of the full moon in Sagittarius. If you weren't waiting for anything from a court of law, if you weren't waiting for, I don't know, the result of a trial or let's say a judge's decision, then you can expect good news, and you can expect really beneficial results when it comes to your studies, your education, your academic path. Maybe you've been accepted to, I don't know, like a master's degree. Maybe you have passed all your exams. It feels like the results that you're getting here, Aries, are helping you really revisit your goals for the future, and in a way it feels like these results are impacting in a very positive way your goals and your plans for the future. This could also be a time when you're maybe planning a trip or actively physically traveling, especially abroad. If you are traveling, you're likely to connect with people who feel very close to your heart, and with people who maybe really nudge you to revisit your worldview and your life philosophy, and have a very positive impact upon how you find meaning in life. A very successful trip around this time, or a very successful maybe itinerary that you've put together if you aren't yet on the road, if you aren't yet on a plane. This could also be the time when you receive some really good news and good results, good outcomes when it comes to maybe a publishing related matter, or like a marketing campaign or something along those lines. It is a great time to be culturally, open to experiences. Let's say it's a great time to go to the theater, to go to the museum, and to maybe participate in activities that broaden your horizon together with a group of people, because you are likely to draw a lot of wisdom out of these activities. And last but not least, I feel like you could be spending money on either traveling or education, but it's money very, very, very well spent, and it's money kind of like spent on your future. Money that could actually transform your future for the absolute better, my dear Aries. Now, if you are a Taurus sun or a Taurus rising, 23rd of May, active 3 days before, 3 days after, this lunation, Taurians, activates your financial axis, and especially money, the part of your chart that is linked with money belonging to other people, such as your partner, or, for example, money belonging to the bank. This might be a very, very, very good time, Taurians, to clear off some debt. You might have the money, you might have the means to pay off your debts, to pay off your credit cards, for example. It could also be the time when you hear really fantastic news connected with a loan or a mortgage, or if you are expecting news connected with a bonus or an investment or a lump sum of money in any shape or form, maybe money from insurance or inheritance in any way, my dear Taurians. I believe the news is fantastic. It might be even better than you thought it would be. This could also be, for those of you who are in a relationship, a time when your partner lets you know that, I don't know, they've received a huge bonus, or they've kind of like sold some of their stocks and they've got a load of cash, maybe more than they expected, sitting in their bank account. So it's kind of like time to make plans and to celebrate, and maybe, I don't know, like plan something nice, like a trip, or they might buy you something really nice. This could be a time when you receive gifts, Taurians. I do wanna put it out there. It also feels like this is a time when a crisis is over in some shape or form, Taurians. Maybe something that was challenging to start with, that challenged your values, your value system to start with, but you've come out of it a wiser person, you've come out of it a more experienced person, and you may come out of it also feeling a very, very lucky and protected person. Protected by whom? By the universe in some shape or form. And if you are looking to make any sort of like transformations on a physical level, Taurians, I gotta say, these might have been underway for quite some time. I gotta say, you seem to be pretty happy with the results, appearance-wise, looks-wise, at the time of this full moon. Now, Gemini suns and Gemini risings. What can you expect from this lunation? 23rd of May, active 3 days before, 3 days after. Well, the full moon really puts the spotlight, Geminis, on other people in your life, especially partners. Now, some of you might say, Rux, I am not in a relationship. Who is this about? It could be business partners. It could be advisors, counselors, consultants. It could be people who, in some shape or form, step into your shoes and kind of like put a mirror in front of you. This lunation could also put the spotlight, my dear Geminis, on siblings, and also on, I want to say, on adversaries. So I believe that this full moon can bring some sort of a great outcome, some sort of a positive result when it comes to a partnership. So maybe agreeing on a collaboration, agreeing on a partnership. It could be a business partnership, maybe something that involves traveling in some shape or form. You could also feel like you've seen really good results when it comes to working with a consultant, an advisor, someone with more, let's say, experience than you. So it could feel like this person has kind of like opened up your mind to a new perspective. If you are traveling around this time, which you might, it feels like whoever it is that you're connecting with whilst traveling is very eager and willing to help you accomplish your goals. And they seem to also make you aware of some of your blind spots and some of the maybe aspects that you did not take into account, my dear Geminis. I feel like you could also make official a relationship around this time, Geminis. It could, I repeat, it could be a business partnership. For those of you who are open to romance and who are maybe not in a relationship, it could be making official and kind of like sharing with the world a romantic relationship that does seem to be quite serious, I'd say. Once again, those of you who are in a relationship could also hear some fantastic news coming from your significant other. Now, initially, your partner might say, you know what, I want to keep this piece of news, I want to keep this information to myself because it's going to be life-altering, it's going to be very kind of like transformative. For example, they might share with you that they are going to, I don't know, like change their career, or they've received like a fantastic job offer, and they might not yet be eager to like, I don't know, like spread the word to everyone. I do believe that your partner in some shape or form might be better off financially in terms of long-term material situation after making this transformation that they might make you aware of. Cancerians, Cancer suns and Cancer risings. My lovely Cancerians, oh my god, what's going on at the time of this of this full moon? You can probably breathe super easily because it feels like a job is done. Like you have completed a project, you're probably completing a project very successfully, you can be proud of yourselves, Cancerians. Have a think about what you were working on last year in December, because it could be that this full moon brings things to a close when it comes to the topics, the matters, the areas that you were working on last year in December 2023, especially middle of December. I feel like this full moon could also put the spotlight on some significant results that you're seeing after making big changes, big transformations on the health front, especially when it comes to habits, especially when it comes to day-to-day kind of like actions, or yeah, generally kind of like habits. You might have been making some changes health-wise since last year. Now you're probably looking at your health, I don't know, looking at your like blood work, your kind of like blood tests, and thinking, oh wow, like this looks fantastic, I should continue. This could also be a time of successfully collaborating with a community, with a group of people work-wise. You seem to feel very inspired by these people love you, you like them. It's like the feeling of like appreciation and admiration is mutual, and you're just like probably really grateful to be able to connect with these people. There is a possibility that a really important opportunity work-wise might come your way around this time that involves working with a community of people that you would really like to be involved with. I see money here. I see money, and I see a lot of money, and the possibility for a lot of money. So and last but not least, some Cancerians might leave their job because there's something much better on the horizon. Something that pays better, something that is more aligned with what you love to do. And I feel like you have absolutely no regrets. Those of you who are leaving a job behind, you're like, yes, it's gonna be different, but oh my god, it's gonna be so good. And now, let's see, Leos, Leo suns and Leo risings. What can you expect from the full moon coming up on the 23rd of May? Active 3 days before, 3 days after. So, fabulous news, if you ask me. Reason for celebration. Connected with the following. It's a really lucky lunation, Leos. I wanna kind of like stress this out from the very beginning. So you're probably gonna want to party and celebrate because something really great is happening. First and foremost in your career, very possibly. So some really good news. You might be receiving a promotion. You might be launching something professionally. It seems to go very well. You might be making, I don't know, like a public presentation, and you're receiving like acclaim and applause, and it just goes fabulously, and it seems to kind of like open so many doors for you moving forward professionally. There could also be some really good news connected with children, my lovely Leos, especially if children were on your radar last year in December, around the middle of December. Children might have, I don't know, some fantastic results when it comes to their education. If you have kids, they might be accepted for like, I don't know, like a prestigious program or something along those lines, or like pass their, I don't know, like GCSEs or like, I don't know, final exams, very, 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 very successfully. So kind of like with flying colors. You could also have reasons to celebrate if you're trying to have a kid. So if you're looking to get pregnant, my dear Leos, or if your partner is kind of like trying to get pregnant, then this could be it. You could also really kind of like celebrate with friends the fact that something has turned out very, very well, both professionally as well as in your relationship sector. There seems to be a little bit of a reset coming up relationship-wise, especially for those of you who are in a relationship after this lunation. A reset that seems to put you and the partner in a much better place. So maybe you've overcome some sort of a crisis. Maybe you've overcome something like really scary together. Last but not least, you might make a public announcement. Some of you could make a public announcement connected with your romantic status and your relationship sector. So you might announce, we're getting married, or we're having a baby, or something along those lines. Last but not least, it's really, really a fabulous time to celebrate with your friends the fact that you're healthy, you're successful, and even maybe things that felt scary in the past 6 months have turned out very well. So regardless of your relationship status, regardless of your career status, I dare say that this is a great time to have fun, maybe even to travel with friends, but genuinely to like look at your life and say, someone's taking care of me, someone up there is looking after me, because they are. I'm just gonna say it. Virgos, Virgo suns and Virgo risings, 23rd of May, active 3 days before, 3 days after. We've got a full moon activating your 4th house, 10th house axis. Oh, this is big. This is big. So, Virgos, what was going on in your home life and family life and living situation last year in December? Because this full moon could bring some sort of a culminating point, some sort of a significant result or outcome connected with themes that were on your radar last year in December when it comes to these particular life sectors. Some of you could be moving into a new home, selling your home, or just kind of like really celebrating something connected with your home and family life. It could be, for example, that a parent has overcome a health crisis. It could also be, for example, you celebrating the fact that you have found your dream home. It could also be, for example, you celebrating the fact that you have finalized renovations, let's say, because it does feel like the job is done somehow at home. You could also be celebrating possibly some changes connected with your living situation. I mean, some of you, I feel like you could move or even like think about moving abroad in one way or another. If there are any of you Virgos who are waiting for news connected with visas, residency, and your kind of like your status, let's say, in a specific country, possibly legal status especially, the cosmos is with you. The cosmos is on your side. You can breathe easily because you're probably going to get the result that you were expecting, that you were waiting for. And this might also allow you to kind of like change your job or revisit job opportunities. Some of you could be moving abroad for work purposes. Some of you could also maybe make an announcement in the professional space that your home life has changed for the better, because you seem to be thrilled with the way that it has changed, and you might not be able to continue down the same kind of like path professionally as you have so far, but you are not sad. You are celebrating like no one's business, my lovely Virgos. And last but not least, parents are doing very, very well around this time. I feel like they are overcoming some sort of crisis, be it health-wise or be it work-wise. So if they were having like a hard time on any of these fronts, that's in the past, and that is great if you ask me. Libras, Libra suns and Libra risings, 23rd of May, active 3 days before, 3 days after. This full moon puts the spotlight on your educational axis as well as travel axis. I feel like you are passing an exam around this time, Libras, or you are completing a course of study, maybe something that you're very passionate about, something that you invested a lot of like energy into, especially mental energy into. You could be passing, for example, your driver's test, but generally any exams around this time, they're probably going to be like a massive success. You could also sign up for something studies wise that is likely to impact your future in the long term. Even if right now maybe you're not necessarily seeing this, I feel like if you're signing up for any classes or courses, or if you're starting to study something, it could be something that has a very transformative, beneficial impact upon your work, I'd say. You could be taking a trip, you could be traveling around this time, some of you could be buying a car, some of you could be selling a car. Whatever you're doing, if you're buying or selling, I feel like you are getting the best deal. So you're finding the right buyer, or you're finding the right, I don't know, like car or thing that you need to purchase. You also seem to feel very connected with someone on a romantic level, I want to say. So, for example, if you're thinking of like, I don't know, like traveling to meet someone romantically, I'd say that this is a very, very good time to do that. Someone could travel to see you from, I don't know, like overseas or something along those lines. If you are waiting for news connected with, I don't know, like a scholarship or a bursary, once again, I feel like you're going to get the money. You could also be spending money on studies, but I do believe it's probably money very, very well, very, very well spent, I'd say. Scorpio suns and Scorpio risings. 23rd of May, active, 3 days before, 3 days after. We've got a full moon activating your money axis, your financial axis. Oh boy, Scorpios. I feel like you're making a lot of money here. I feel like this is a fabulous time financially for you. So you could be getting paid a significant amount. You could also be entering some sort of a deal, some sort of a contract, some sort of a partnership that is going to pay a lot in the long term. You could also be paying someone for services, but it feels like if you're paying someone for services, you're going to be the one who benefits ultimately financially from this. So, you know what they say, you got to spend a little bit of money to make money, or spend a lot of money to make money. It feels like it's a time of fantastic collaborations with financial implications. If you're thinking of getting a financial advisor, for example, if you're thinking of getting a new accountant, this is it. This is the best time to go ahead and do it. You could also be spending some money on your significant other if you're in a relationship. And I believe it's because you have a lot of money. I believe it's because maybe you've gotten a raise, or you've kind of like put up your prices or something like that, or you've just finally been paid what you were owed for quite some time. It's a good time to invest in your relationship. It's also a good time to really ask yourselves, Scorpios, what do I value the most? And if you realize that it is relationships, then, I mean, you may want to revisit how you spend your, not just money, but also time, energy, and resources. Thinking about how you channel and utilize and organize your resources is really nicely aspected at the time of this full moon, Scorpios. So you may want to take a bit of a step back and ask yourselves, is my budget, is my time, is my attention, is my energy going towards what matters the most to me? And last but not least, I do believe you're probably going to feel very, very, very appreciated by someone in your life. It could be a business partner, it could be a life partner, it could also be a parent, I wanna say. This could also be a time when you invest in something for the home that your partner is like, especially if you're in a relationship, that your partner is really, really excited about. I'm loving this. It's such a lucky lunation. I am absolutely, absolutely loving this, my dear Scorpios. I do apologize. There's something going on with my phone. It just doesn't want to stand straight today. It's got a moment. It has its moments, right? Sagittarius suns and Sagittarius risings. 23rd of May, active, 3 days before, 3 days after. We have a fabulous lunation here, putting the spotlight on you. You are completing very successfully, I might add, a work collaboration. You might be signing a work-related contract. You might be completing maybe a collaboration with someone also on the health front with fabulous, I repeat, really, 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 really auspicious results, the best results that you can probably ask for. If you've been thinking of getting a coach, a personal trainer, a therapist, a counselor, an advisor of any sorts, either work-wise or health-wise, this is the time to like seal the deal with someone, because it does feel like the right person is in your life. You might also be seeing some really good results when it comes to your physical body and your state of health after maybe having invested a lot of time, energy, and even money into your health. It is a good time to like pay for something health-wise, because it feels like you are going to absolutely benefit from it, and not only in terms of how you feel, but also possibly in terms of how you look, which I know maybe it's shallow, but hey, we're not claiming to be saints here. We care about our looks. We are allowed to be vain sometimes. And obviously, you know what they say, the body is our temple. So from that perspective, we aren't vain. As within, so without. I feel like this can also be a really good time, Sagittarians, for those of you who are in a relationship, when it comes to a partner's job. So if a partner has been looking for work, if they have been, I don't know, like struggling work-wise, then it may feel like things are culminating very beautifully, very auspiciously for your partner. One last thing. This could be a time when you need to travel for work matters or for health-related matters, Sagittarians. And if that is the case, or if you are maybe, I don't know, in contact with someone from overseas, this person seems to be bringing in the right type of like tools, practices, and information that you are once again going to benefit from. Capricorn Suns, and Capricorn Risings. 23rd of May, active 3 days before, 3 days after. This lunation is activating your 12th house, 6th house axis. Okay, Capricorns, I gotta say this. It is the time for you to rest. Also, because the ruler of the full moon is placed in your 5th house of enjoyment, you are probably going to enjoy relaxation, rest, maybe going to the spa, maybe spending time in nature, maybe even spending time with children and with your loved ones. It is the perfect time to stop, to take some time off, to slow down. Your job is done, the work is done. This could also be the time when you complete something behind the scenes that you've been working on, Capricorns, something maybe that you kept secret, like a passion project. You seem to complete it very, very successfully, and you might feel ready to share this with other people. It is also a time of aha moments when it comes to spiritual experiences and experiences that help you better connect with the meaning of life and with what is important to you and with what you actually value. It could be a time, for example, also when you spend money on experiences of a spiritual nature, or money that you could spend on experiences involving relaxation. I feel like your knowledge is kind of like expanded in some shape or form, and you have a broader understanding of your blind spots, a broader understanding of how you've been sabotaging yourselves, Capricorns, and a broader understanding of what truly, truly, truly matters to you. Have fun. Enjoy this time. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a time to be very productive. On the absolute contrary, I would say it's a time to rest and to stop and to maybe even look a little bit inwards and say, wow, I've been doing really, really well. It could be a time when you spend some money on things that you're very passionate about, and you might also have a little bit of an epiphany and say, wow, this really makes me happy. I mean, not necessarily the spending money part, but channeling your time and your energy and your hard-earned cash towards something that really brings a state of like joy, I'd say. And if you have children, and if children have been struggling in any shape or form with maybe something health related, I feel like that's going to be over at the time of this full moon in a very kind of like auspicious way. So crisis is over, like health related challenge is over for kids, so you can like kind of like move on with your life and like relax and yeah, just kind of like center yourselves once again, Capricorns. Aquarians, Aquarius suns and Aquarius risings. My lovely Aquarians. I'm an Aquarius sun, just as an FYI. I know most people know this because you might have been around for a long time here on my channel, but there are new people joining us, so I gotta share. No one asked me, but I gotta share. 23rd of May, active 3 days before, 3 days after. This full moon in Sagittarius, my lovely Aquarians, is putting the spotlight on friends, communities, goals for the future. And it's also kind of like giving a little bit of a nudge to your home life and family life. Okay, so Aquarians, you're probably feeling super lucky. And you are eager to share this with your friends, eager to share this with your tribe. It is a time of celebration, of partying, of of success, I'd say, together with your friends and the people that love you, maybe even friends that feel like family. What are you celebrating? I feel like you're celebrating possibly something connected with children, home life, real estate. So maybe you're doing like a housewarming party, or maybe you're celebrating the fact that you've been, I don't know, like successful in applying for a mortgage, or maybe you're celebrating the fact that you're moving into a larger home, or as I said, the family could be expanding, you know. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're having a kid. It could be that someone else in the family is having a kid. You could also travel to connect with friends, my dear Aquarius, or you could host friends that have traveled in your home around this time. You are having a jolly good time. Good food, good times, good conversations. And it also feels like you can maybe reveal something to people close to you, friends, family, people who really, really love you. Maybe something that you've been keeping under lock and key for some time. You might also have an epiphany, as in, you might realize, Aquarius, that your life is going to be changing very drastically moving forward, and you're not afraid of it. You are actually really embracing it, and you're looking forward to it. Some of you could be moving. They could be moving into a new home, so maybe you're saying goodbye to like people in the old neighborhood. It also feels like you are really keen to reset your future and to set kind of like new goals for the future, my dear Aquarius, because you're no longer the person who you used to be. You've grown a lot, you've changed a lot, you've kind of like, you might feel more empowered, you might feel like you're stepping into your power, and you're also probably feeling like your life is in a state of abundance, especially your personal life. So a lot of like success and good luck, and feeling very, very privileged when it comes to your personal life, my dear Aquarians. And last but not least, if a parent has been going through a hard time in any shape or form, that is over. Crisis averted. Problem solved, issue kind of like solved. I'm loving this full moon, which is something that I've said like 1,000 times. Someone can count and see how many times I've said it. Last but not least, my dear Pisces, Pisces suns and Pisces risings, 23rd of May, active 3 days before, 3 days after. This full moon is putting the spotlight on your public status, public reputation, professional life, but also on your private life in a way. So Pisces, what was going on last year, especially Pisces risings, in your career and in your professional life? Have a think about that, because in December of last year, 12th of December, active 3 days before, 3 days after, you had a new moon in this part of your chart. And as we know, full moons bring things to a close. We see results, we see outcomes, like things are very visible, they're in our face. So I'm seeing some sort of career success, Pisces, around this time. It could be that you have successfully like completed a project. You are receiving like public applause. You are making like a big presentation career-wise. Maybe you're signing a big client around this time. You might be having a fabulous interview around this time and getting like a job that like gives you a nudge up the ladder. Very constructive and really, really exciting conversations maybe with bosses, with people in power, people in positions of power, bosses, managers, leaders have your back, and they are like keen to help you grow professionally. You could be also completing a course or kind of like something connected with your education that is going to help propel your career to the next level. And I genuinely believe this. I genuinely believe this because this is a very lucky full moon. If you are waiting for, I don't know, news connected with your promotion or news connected with a job that is kind of like increasing your status or is improving your status in any shape or form, the news is probably going to be good. You could also travel for professional purposes, and you are probably going to feel like things are working much better than you thought they would. You could also be sharing something with the world that you've been keeping maybe a little bit like hidden, connected with your career path, and maybe how you're planning to change your career path and take it to the next level. Some of you could also make some sort of public announcement regarding their relationship status. So if you're, I don't know, if you're deciding that you're gonna get married, you might make the announcement. You could make also a public announcement connected with your home life and family life. For example, if you've decided to like move to a new neighborhood, you might let the world know. Parents could also have good news around this time, especially good news connected with their financial situation. Very, very possibly. But maybe also with their health. Siblings could also have something to say around the time of this full moon. If you have siblings, generally relationships with siblings around the time of this full moon seem to go very, very, very well. They seem to go through a significant improvement. And there could also be something really good that's happening in the life of a sibling that makes you feel like really happy and warm and fuzzy inside. Speak publicly, share what you have to say, my dear Pisces. Even if you're not involved in like a career, even if you're not working, even if you're retired, it feels like you've got something to say. It feels like you've got something to share with the world. And it also feels like you could be like strengthening a relationship around this time if you dare to speak up, Pisces. Such a beautiful time, such a beautiful time. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you, folks, how this full moon plays out. So please let us know in the comments. I want to thank you once again for tuning in and for being here, for joining me on this astrological journey. If you haven't yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? And also don't forget to like and to share the video with your friends, with your family, with the people who you believe might benefit from this. Remember that if you want to work with me, if you want to book a personal reading, a personal astrological consultation with me, you can find me on my website, which is writteninthestars-astrology.com. That is writteninthestars-astrology.com. And you can also find me on Instagram at ruxunbelievable, ruxunbelievable in one word. Last but not least, if you want to make a donation to my channel, you can do this using the thanks button. If you find my content interesting, useful, insightful, that would be much, much, much appreciated. Enjoy this very, very good time, good week, good moment of the year, folks. And I look forward to hearing from you, as I said in the comments, how this plays out. And of course, I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.